So wow, I was kind of just joking around, but there it is. My max, the most I've ever squatted for a double. I'm just super proud of myself for finally being able to exhibit or express that strength that I've always known I've had. And you know, this is it. This is just the beginning. And I can't wait to get to the meet, show off my actual strength on that day. And you know, at this point, I don't even care. I don't care if somehow I messed up the programming or if I get sick right before the meet. Doesn't matter. I think I've proven to myself that I can work hard enough for this, that I have worked hard enough for this. And that's really what matters, because for the longest time, I just kept asking myself, why am I not progressing? Why am I not pushing forward? It was just because I was slacking off, making excuses, blaming my genetics for something I couldn't have. And that's a good excuse, for sure. But I feel like I can push so much more and do so much more. And that's what it's all about. Being able to push yourself past those limits. Because I could have quit right there on that first single. It was definitely slow enough. But it's like I've learned a new skill to just keep pushing. To just keep doing one more. And that is priceless. So this has been a great journey for me. And I know it's not the end. I know I still got more to show. So keep watching, and I hope this is entertaining and informative. But yeah, today we squatted 341 pounds for 2 reps. And so I feel pretty confident with my predictions for what I'll hit at the meet. I'll make that a separate video. So, but 341 for 2, wow, fantastic. This week is our second to last training week before we deload and then the meet. So it's getting down to, it's crunch time, baby. And we're super excited. So we'll finish off some back off sets here at 308. We'll do 2 sets and we'll just play around with it, 3-5 reps, whatever it happens to be. It doesn't actually matter at this point. We're just trying to accumulate strength or create that adaptation in the central nervous system without accumulating too much fatigue. So once I feel like maybe my reps aren't as crisp or as sharp, or they start to feel pretty close to this type of exertion, then that's when obviously that'll be the last set, because doing too much at this point can be too much. So yeah, that'll be the squats, and then we got the rest of the SBD. So I'll see you guys in the next clip. Conservative loading on the bench press today for technique work, because we did 3 sets of 3 reps at 135, and in comparison to last week we did 187 pounds for 3 sets of 3 reps, and that took a lot more effort. That's me being honest. So now, looking at our past data and having failed 231 for 3, we're just going to do exactly what we need to do for technique work and for the other variations throughout the week on bench press, and that's it. This way tomorrow we can really highlight that as the bench day, and on Friday we can continue to work on that a little bit, creating a little bit more volume and that frequency that we need to continue to make this as crisp and as reliable as possible. Because if we come in and we hit an opener and that feels hard,
that's what she said,
it's not going to be a great day. So in that aspect, we have to sort of prepare ourselves, especially now that we've messed up the peak, introduced failure, and we have to kind of recuperate and regain some ground here on the bench press. When it comes to deadlifts, this is the lift that is going to make or break me because it is so far ahead of the squat and bench press as far as numbers go that if I can really nail this down, if I can just hit that lockout, we will be good and we'll have such a good total and such a good meet day. But all that considered, and speaking of a lockout, we're not doing anything lockout specific today. Instead, we're just continuing to work on our off the ground work with deficit deadlifts because I know that this is what's going to beat me up come meet day. That weight is going to look super intimidating, and that's where I tend to fail the lift, or at least mentally give up, because that's just how I am. I feel it and the weight seems ridiculously heavy and I just need to be able to work it up to my knees, and from there I know I'll just feel the pressure of the meet, and I still have Thursday to work on that lockout. And from last week's inclusion of the glute bridges and the block pulls, I know that I can create enough adaptation from just that one day to exhibit that lockout strength, to, you know, put it in simple terms there. So there's that. We've pretty much tapped this out for everything that we're going to get during this prep. So 374 for 2 at a 3-inch deficit, that's pretty freaking good. That's about what I wanted to do. And obviously we had to do some back off work because if not, we will be way too fatigued to recover from this. So that was good. And man, if this is any indication for how the rest of the week is going to go, we're looking really good. If you guys have any questions over these type of videos and what kind of advice or information I should be giving, let me know, because this is supposed to be informative. I just feel like there's a lot going on and it's pretty high pace and it's super intense, and maybe there's even some exercises that you guys aren't familiar with and I could be giving more advice, and that's on me. Again, this is new. I'm trying to create more content where it's not just, hey, look at me lift. It's more or less, hey, understand why this is being programmed, what it's going to help me in particular do, and how it can be implemented into your specific training to beat out some of your deficits or even some abnormalities you may have in your physique. So in this specific case, because I'm willing to expand, I'm using these foam like tiles that most people kind of shit on. But me, in this case, I just so happen to be not to be strong enough to really make a difference to where they sink in too much. Basement Brandon likes to recommend these tractor tiles, these floor mats, so for you to do this on, but he deadlifts like 500, 600 plus. So maybe he does feel difference on these tiles, but if you're as weak as I am, which you probably are, these will do. Trust me, they're not going to sink. I still hold a 3-inch deficit at 374 pounds. I think you'll be okay. But yeah, anyway, this also, the deficit deadlift works your off the floor strength by allowing you to start even lower than you normally would. And I don't use a belt for this because I find it cumbersome and like it really gets in the way. I hope that was the right word. English is my second language, in case I've never mentioned that. But yeah, that's that. And that's the type of advice that I would want to give and so forth. And maybe I could even add some production value and give you guys some B-roll or whatever, but I don't know unless you comment. So like the video if you like this type of content, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will see you guys in the next flex. I hope you can see my muscles.